Head football coach, G.J. Kinne. Hold on, I got something for you here. Got this for him here. I didn't tell him this, but he's got to put this on for his opening remarks. Not really.
All right. First off, I'm excited. I'm honored. I'm grateful to be your new head coach. I'd like to start by thanking Dr. Danfus, Don Coryell, and Travis Comer. We have unbelievable leadership here at Texas State. Throughout this interview process, I figured out really quickly that these guys are hungry. They're committed to building a championship program, which is very important to me. I would like to thank a couple people. Start off with my family, my wife, Summer. My two boys aren't here today. They're sick, but it's not easy being a coach's wife, and no one does it better. So thank you, Summer. No, I'd like to thank UIW and Dr. Evans, Richard Duran, and John Burry. I'd like to thank all my players, all my coaches and the support staff for believing in me and giving me opportunity and giving me everything you got every day. That's a special group down there, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to finish the right way, and we're not done yet. So thank you to UIW. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of my former coaches, guys that I played for and coached for, some of them both. Start off with Jeff Traylor, Todd Graham and Chad Morris, Gus Malzahn, Chip Kelly, Doug Peterson, and Howie Roseman. Thank you for pouring into me and making me the coach and person I am today. Just a little bit about myself. I'm a Texas guy through and through. I'm the son of a Texas high school football coach. I grew up on the sidelines. I grew up in the field house on the back of the bus after the games. After I got done playing, I always knew I wanted to be a coach. My coaching philosophy, I'm a player's coach. I'm a guy that has a lot of fun out there, but we're going to work hard, but I'm going to love them harder. It's all about relationships for me. And the coaches I've had, throughout my career that I knew cared about me and loved me, I tended to play harder for. So that's my philosophy as far as that goes, all about relationships. I had a different, some different opportunities that came up, right after the season. And a lot of them had to offer a lot of great things, but I wanted to be at Texas State. I chose to be at Texas State. I'm from Texas. That was important to me. I always knew if the right guy got this job, you better watch out. This place is unbelievable. You have 40,000 students. You got a river flowing through campus. We're the only Texas school in the Sun Belt. This place is really unbelievable. Just so fortunate to be here. We'll play an exciting brand of football. Offensively, we're going to be a tempo team. We're a run, play, action team, and we're going to light up the scoreboard. We have the number one offense, scoring offense in college football, whether that's FCS, FBS, doesn't matter. Averaging close to 53 points per game. Our quarterback's going to win the Walter Payton, hopefully. He deserves it. He's an unbelievable player and fortunate to coach him as well. Defensively, we're going to attack. We're going to be high tempo on defense as well. We're going to attack. We lead the country in TFLs and number 3 in sacks. We're going to swarm. We're going to play with great energy and relentless football and play a relentless style of football. Our team will play with energy. We'll have swagger to us. We're going to preach discipline every day. I know how important that is. Culture part is a huge piece of this deal in college football, and it's simple for me. We talk about habits reflecting the mission. That'll be on the back of our shirt. It'll be everywhere in the building. And our mission is being champions. Champions in competition, champions in the classroom, and champions in the community. It's simple for me. It's easy for the guys. You talk about being a champion, and if you're not doing the extra, you're not doing the little things, you're sitting in the back of the class, you got your hood up, we want our guys sitting in the front. So if they're not doing the little things that we talk about, if your habits don't reflect the mission of being a champion, then you're not here, for the right reasons. You're not, you're a fraud, and we're not going to, allow that in our program. I'm going to hire a great staff, a staff that knows Texas, one that can recruit the coaches and players in the great state of Texas. I want to hire someone, a coaching staff that is going to be a great role model for our student athletes. Coaches that are great husbands, coaches that are great fathers. I think that's extremely important in college football. Once again, we are going to recruit Texas high school football, right? We're going to recruit. We are going to recruit the portal. We're going to identify guys that maybe left that want to come back, that are from the state of Texas. There's too many great players in the state of Texas not to do that. We need everyone, right? We need Bobcat Nation to step up like they've never stepped up before. Our student athletes deserve it. I believe in this place. I believe in this leadership. I can't wait to get to work. Eat them up. At this time, if there's any questions.
Mike Cray from Dave Campbell's.
So, Mike.
When you take over a program, what's job number one when you walk in the door?
I think hiring a great staff is one, and I'll give you a couple more. Great staff and recruiting. I think those are 1 and 2, 1A, 1B maybe. I've started to do that, and just for everyone involved at UIW, just want to do it the right way.
And then how much more prepared are you to take over this job than maybe UIW with it being your first one?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Experience is tremendous, and you always got to have that. And there's things that, just like the press conference last year and the press conference this year, just more prepared. I'm more prepared to recruit. Everything that involves being a head coach, anytime you've done it before, there's no substitute for experience.
You're coaching at 2 places at once right now, and you're officially here at Texas State. What has it been like for you since that happened, going back and forth to Incarnate Word and San Marcos?
Yeah, I've just tried to be where my feet are, pour everything I got to, if I'm at Texas State and recruiting, or whether I'm at UIW at practice, just being where my feet are.
How difficult is it to recruit when you don't necessarily have your staff fully there yet, unless you do and you just can't talk about it yet?
Yeah, and I'm a one-man show right now, and I'm doing it, and believe me, I can get it done. I'm a great recruiter, and I'm just excited to be able to sell the brand of Texas State.
When you hear about the culture of Texas State, what's one thing that you want to change the most about it, things that you've heard coming into this job?
I want to recruit Texas high school football players.
Colton McWilliams, San Marcos State record. You played under so many great coaches, Gus Malzahn, Todd Graham, and you also, they also helped you get into the coaching business. How great were those role models to you into becoming a college football coach?
Yeah, they were unbelievable. Being a great player allowed me to be around some great coaches, and for them to really pour into my life, and they did it the right way, which is important. And that's why I am the person and coach I am.
And there's been a lot of talk about in the past how Texas State would normally ignore high school players in favor of like JUCO players and transfer. How important is it to reestablish those ties with the Texas high school football coaches and those players as well?
Yeah, I've been around a bunch of different states and coached at a bunch of different states, but Texas high school football is king. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to recruit Texas high school football players and coaches alike. We're going to bridge that relationship, and I'm going to recruit the portal as well. But the foundation of our program is going to be Texas high school football players.
And funny enough, your high school coach, Jeff Traylor, is right down the road at UTSA, a big rivalry game. What has he said to you about getting this job at Texas State?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him much since I've gotten it. Before a lot more, but Jeff is awesome. He's a great mentor, someone I can really bounce ideas off of, and he always gives great advice, and I love Jeff and appreciate everything he's done for me.
Greg Sherman, San Antonio Independent Media, Texas High School Sports Machine. First off, on the coaches, I know you may not be able to comment yet, but how many coaches are you going to retain from Texas State? How much is going to come from UIW, and how much is going to be outsiders coming in?
Yeah, it's all up in the air right now. I have a really good idea, but just with all the parties involved, I just want to keep it close to my vest right now.
As he was mentioning a moment ago, you played for Traylor at Gilmer. You've kind of seen what he's had to do, not only to recruit the players at UTSA, but recruit the fans. It's been one of the problems that Texas State has had over the years is being able to get the fans in. What are you going to do to be able to get the fan base in here and be able to fill this stadium up, be able to have a true home field advantage?
Yeah, I think one, you have to get out there and do it. And two, you have to play an exciting brand of football, and I've proved to do that, this past year at UIW on offense and defense. So I think it's all about the style of play and, just getting out and putting in the work.
Final question. I know he mentioned about the portal and the high school stuff. How do you go out and re-recruit the players, let them know that, hey, I'm here for the long haul, that Spavital did a great job to get to this point, but you're going to get them past the finish line? What are you telling the players?
I'm going to be here for a long time. I'm a Texas guy. That's the reason I wanted this job. Hope to be here and build championships here for a long time.
Thank you.
My name's Amira Van Leven with the Hayes Free Press. What are some aspects of the program other than recruiting that you plan to focus on?
I think player development is always huge, on and off the field. We'll have a great strength coach and great coaches that pour into these guys on and off the field.
We heard Dr. Danfus talk about a bowl game and how that's a big monkey on this university's back, about getting to that bowl game. When you hear that, what are your thoughts about getting this program to that point? And what are some of your early objectives when you hear that goal?
Yeah, no, we have a lot of work to do, but I'm excited about the opportunity. I think, he's exactly right. We want to be in bowl games. We want to be in championships. We want to be in the college football playoff. I love that. That's the reason I chose to come here, because of the expectations, because of the commitment to football.
Coaches in the past have commented about the facilities needing upgrades and everything, and we hear again from them that it's going to be expedited and that plans are going to happen quickly. Was that something that was important to you when you were looking around at jobs, to hear that these plans of these upgrades around here?
Most definitely. You got to have great facilities, not only for your current student athletes, but in recruiting as well. And like I said, that was one of my big draws to this place, was the commitment to the football program.
Coach, you said earlier that you identify yourself as a player's coach. The players that you're inheriting within this program, what is your overall prevailing message to them as you now take over?
Yeah, I had my first team meeting the other day, which I thought went great. I just talked to them who I was. I'm a relationship guy. I'm a player's coach. Like I said earlier, we're going to work hard now. We're going to work extremely hard, but I'm going to love them harder. And for me, when you get in there and you build those relationships with the kids, that's what it's all about. That's what I enjoy doing, pouring into their lives on and off the field.
Take us back through the conversations you had with leadership, with Dr. Danfus and with Don Coryell, the AD, and what those conversations were like as you went through this process.
Yeah, I think both of us, we had our first interview, and then, after that, I think we both recognized that, they might be interested in me, and I was definitely interested in them. So I was aggressive, and they were aggressive and thorough, and we were able to get something done. I wanted to be here so bad, and I think they could feel that.
Your trajectory as a coach in your coaching career, you've gone up and up and up each year, but you've only stayed at a place for about a year at a time. That's probably one concern I've heard from fans, is that you may leave soon if they have some success. What would you say to something like that about your long-term commitment to Texas State?
No, I'm committed to Texas State. I think anytime you're good at what you do, you're going to get rewarded for that. And I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm definitely committed to Texas State.
You talked about your dad being a high school coach and growing up, in locker rooms and stuff. Do you remember kind of the first time you knew that this is the trajectory you wanted to take when your football career ended?
Yeah, I've played Texas high school football here, and I knew, got into college and playing professionally, and I knew I wanted to get into coaching, at some point. And when I was with the Giants, I shared this in the interview process. The Giants signed me after I got released by the Eagles, and Steve Spagnuolo and Tom Coughlin, came up to me and said, hey, we want to talk to you a little bit after practice. And so I sat in there and built a game plan with those guys, and they traveled me and put me up in the booth on the headset with Steve, and was basically a coach when I was playing. So after that, that was a lot of fun for me, and I felt like I did a pretty good job. So I knew I wanted to get into coaching after that.
And you hadn't been out of college for all that long, right? But there's been a lot of changes to college football in that time. How different is coaching now? How different are the players are now? Or is that kind of overblown, the kind of changes in personalities and just rules?
Yeah, I think it has changed, but for me, I know I keep bringing this up, it all goes back to the relationships. If the kids know you care about them, you can coach them hard. And that's what we do, and that's what my staff will be about.
You've been almost around the world, coached at Hawaii, then went over to Central Florida, now back to Texas at Incarnate Word, now here at Texas State. Going through so many places as an offensive coordinator and a grad assistant, what has that taught you as a coach on how, building relationships and how to call offensive plays and all that?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of great places and been with a lot of great coaches and administration, and anytime you do that, I think you just build connections and resources and recruiting. It's huge in recruiting. There's we're going to focus on Texas, but I know a lot of people out there in a lot of different states that always are willing to help.
Your time as a professional athlete, how has that helped you as far as a relatability standpoint with athletes and everything? Do you think that's a really good advantage for you when you're trying to talk to these guys and build the relationships you're talking about?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I feel like I have instant credibility a lot of times because I have played at the highest level and I've coached at the highest level as well with the Eagles. So anytime, that's one of my recruiting pitches is that I've played and coached at the highest level.
I was at UIW for a few years during their D1 transition, so I got to see what the transition process was from D2 to D1 and the gory side of it, so to speak. What do you take from building up what UIW was, even though you've been there just for a short time, and what do you take from that to try to build up Texas State as they try to move up in the FBS?
I think it's just maximizing what you have, and we're not going to complain about anything. We're just going to get the job done.
As a player for Traylor and now coaching, not necessarily against him right now, but what have you learned from playing for him? What have you taken from your time with him, as you guys obviously will continue to be closely connected?
Yeah, just like I talked about the relationship part of it, I don't think there's anyone better than Jeff as far as that goes. He's a great X's and O's coach, there's no doubt about that. But what makes him special is the relationships that he builds with his players, and they have a lot of fun over there. We had a lot of fun at Gilmer High School back in the day, and same thing. They work hard, extremely hard, but have a lot of fun doing it.
If I'm remembering correctly, you have a connection with Jake Spavital as well, right? Maybe
Yep.
when you were a player and he was a coach at Tulsa.
Yeah.
Have you, I don't know if you've talked to him since you've taken this job, but what's your relationship like with Jake Spavital, and what do you think about what he's done here?
Yeah, I haven't got the chance to talk to him since then, but I love Jake. He's a great person, great coach, and wish nothing but the best for him. I saw that he accepted a job at Cal today, and I know he'll do really well out there.